Hey, good people out there in the old interweb. What is going on? Today I want to give a little review of the new Blackberry Smoke album, You Hear Georgia. I'm a little late to the game on this one. This album's been out a little bit, but I have jammed this album so much that I felt like I got to get it out there and give my opinion on it. Not that anybody cares, but I have wore this album out, so I feel like people need to hear it. So, Blackberry Smoke. Who is Blackberry Smoke, you might ask? Well, let's talk about it for a second. So, Blackberry Smoke is a band formed in Atlanta, Georgia around the year 2000. These guys have been road dogs for years and years and years. I myself had the opportunity to play with them once when I was playing in a band, and that was kind of cool, but that has been a lifetime ago. So Blackberry Smoke consists of two guitarists, a bassist, a drummer, a keyboardist. So Paul Jackson on guitars, Charlie Starr on guitars and lead vocals, Brandon Steele on keys, Britt Turner and Richard Turner. Now Richard Turner being the bass player and his brother Britt being the drummer. Now when they recorded this album that we're fixing to talk about, they added a percussionist, Preston Holcomb, and a third guitarist, Benji Shanks. Now, I have not seen them since they've added these two gentlemen, but I feel like this gives them more of a guitar attack leaning toward Lynyrd Skynyrd, Drive-By Truckers, things of that nature. When you say the term Southern rock, which everybody should know by now that I can't stand, you can't say that without mentioning Lynyrd Skynyrd, and Lynyrd Skynyrd had that three guitar attack throughout their career, various guitar players, but it was always Alan Collins, Gary Rosington, started with Ed King, and then they added Steve Gaines, and even the current lineup that we won't get into how everybody feels about that, they roll with three guitar players also. So, yeah, Blackberry Smoke, these cats, they do probably 270 plus dates a year, or they did until the pandemic. I think now these guys have gained a little bit of well-earned success and have dialed back a lot of their touring, but they still chomp down the miles, and you can still see them relatively close to your town any given year. So let's talk about this album, right? So You Hear Georgia was released May 28th of 2021. It is 10 songs and it runs 40 minutes. I did read some press on this when it was released that Dave Cobb, who is a mega producer out of Nashville, was behind the board on this album, and I'm here to tell you that if you don't know who that is, that cat does like Chris Stapleton, Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell. He did some Foo Fighter stuff, some Zac Brown stuff. This guy's resume is amazing. If I had a bucket list and I could set and have somebody produce an album for me, this would be the guy that I would want. You can go on YouTube and check out his studio and gear, and the guy is he's phenomenal, right, behind the board. So I'm not saying this is their greatest album, I'm just saying that this cat is who produced it. Now, like I said, 10 songs, 40 minutes. So let's get into my top 3 like I usually do on an album. If I was going to hand you this album and say start here, this is where we would go, right? So number 3 on the album would be All Rise Again. Now, All Rise Again is song number 6 on the album, and it runs 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Now, why did I pick this as my number 3? Very simple. 2 words, 1 name, Warren Haynes. If you don't know who Warren Haynes is, you may be living under a rock, or you and I have never met in real life and you don't know me that well. But Uncle Warren, as I like to affectionately refer to him as, is one of my favorite guitar players. This cat is kind of my generation's Jerry Garcia. He's kind of the North Star of jam band guitarists currently on the road, and it's somebody that I strive to play like. Now, this song is a heavy rocking song, and it's just Warren leans his vocal to it and his slide guitar playing, and it's a really good jam. So that's my number 3 pick off of this album. Now, number 2 pick on this is a song called Old Enough to Know. Old Enough to Know is the 7th song on this album, and it runs 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Now, Old Enough to Know is a slower jam. It might not be some people's taste. It features some great finger picking on it with an acoustic, but the lyrical content of it reminds me of some people in my family that are no longer with us, and it just kind of got me down deep, and it's like a life lesson being told by an uncle or an old friend. So yeah, if you want to listen to this, that's kind of what you're going to get from it, and that's how I feel that Old Enough to Know tells that story. Now, on to my number 1. My number 1, I usually try to stay away from the most popular songs on albums, and I try to veer away from title tracks and things of that nature, because I really want people to dig into an artist's catalog, and I really want them to understand that an artist is more than what we get fed on the radio. Not saying that these cats get a lot of radio airplay. That's one thing that I do respect about them, is they've done it on their own. But if I was going to say start here, it would be the title track, You Hear Georgia. Now, right out of the gate, this guitar riff, hands down, I would put that riff against a lot of guitar riffs. That caught my attention right when this single was released, and Charlie's vocal on this is just right in your face and is great. So this is the number 2 song on the album. It runs 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Now, the thing about this is I am from the state of Georgia, and I feel like this song is about being misunderstood. Not being misunderstood as far as the Southern culture, but just being ignored because you say you are from Georgia. I feel like people, when you say, hey, I'm from Georgia, that they may look down on you, or they may think that you're not, socially acceptable or whatever. And I think that's what he's trying to convey here, but not in a, it's in a rock kind of way. The thing about the chorus that I love is the chorus with, they had these 2 ladies singing with them called the Black Betties. Man, it's good, right? The chorus is going to catch you, and you'll catch yourself singing this chorus. I promise, if you listen to this song, you will. And I hear Georgia, not to be cliche and to copy the line, but when I hear that chorus, I hear cats from Georgia, artists from Georgia. Like, I could hear Greg Allman singing this. I could hear Travis Tritt singing it. Anybody that's from Georgia that's riding around in their pickup truck or their car or on their motorcycle that's singing it to themselves, I hear Georgia in this. I hear it from the tip of Georgia to the bottom of Georgia. So, as cliche as that sounds, and I don't know what Charlie was thinking when he wrote this, but if that was his mission, he accomplished it, and he accomplished it well. So there you go. What's my overall rating on this? I always do my jam scale. So my overall rating on the album You Hear Georgia is 5 jams out of 5. Now, why did I rate it so high? Like I said, the producer is excellent. The songwriting is excellent. There really isn't like a filler song on this. And this is their, I think I looked the other day, 7th or 8th album. Let's verify that. But if I was going to give you this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's their 7th album altogether. If I was going to give you this and say, here, start here with Blackberry Smoke, this is going to give you an idea of what these cats have gotten themselves to by being these road dogs. It's probably one of their top albums. It represents that hard driving rock band that I think they're striving to be. Like I said, I hate the term Southern rock, but if you like Black Crowes or Drive-By Truckers or obviously Skinner or Marshall Tucker or Allman Brothers or Charlie Daniels or Grateful Dead or any of that, this is where you need to head, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Blackberry Smoke, you hear Georgia, enjoy the album, crank it up loud, which is how it's meant to be listened to, piss off some neighbors, and take it for a ride. Put it on repeat, and I'm sure you'll love it as much as I do. So as always, comment below, hit that subscribe button, and remember that music is love, and love is music.